Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now with our main topic, we're discussing the latest deteriorating situation and the latest developments in Gaza Strip and the West Bank. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Monica William, International Relations Analyst. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. William, the latest developments that are taking place in Gaza Strip, and especially we had 2 hours ago an urgent saying that the Israeli forces have asked the Gaza residents in the north to evacuate, gave them only a few minutes to evacuate the high towers in Gaza Strip. How did you follow these news? Because Israel said it's going to strike these buildings, the high towers in Gaza.
Yes, the ongoing war in Gaza has witnessed a marked escalation in Israeli military tactics, forming part of a broader strategy aimed at achieving political and strategic objectives that have eluded Israel in previous confrontations. Yes, Israel are now faced a multi-dimensional crisis despite the scale of destruction. It has failed to dismantle the resistance or neutralize Hamas capabilities. So this produces a present reality both on battlefield and within the political arena that heavily on or weighs heavily on the Israeli leadership. So Israel specifically in military strategy is largely in what we term it punitive deterrence, which is inflicting the heaviest price on Gaza civilian population through widespread destruction of infrastructure, systematic starvation, and forced displacement. The central aim is to exhaust the social life that sustain resistance and to break the well of endurance among Palestinians. So it adapts different ways to achieve its tactics in military tactics, specifically leaving the examining Israel domestic dynamics is a fundamental entry point to understand the direction of its politics. I consider that what published by her on September 6 and 7 carries implications that cannot be overlooked.
Yes, Dr. William, also Israel have threatened to reoccupy Gaza Strip and said that it controls 75% of Gaza Strip, and also the idea of annexing the Israeli Authority on the West Bank.
Yes, it's a different tactics between in what we call military police, or the clear plan to annex the West Bank isn't a new ambition, but rather the accumulation of decades of settlement, expansion, and land. What we are seeing is an attempt to create a legal facade for a reality already imposed on ground. Israel may use the current turmoil as a pretext to accelerate this agenda. Yet such a move would constitute a patently violation of international law and push the conflict into even more dangerous territory indeed.
Yes. Also, recently, the health ministry in Gaza Strip said that more than 45,000 children became children with disabilities due to the war. How did you see this news?
As we said earlier, that it's a different tactics that Israel depend. It's a punitive deterrence through the social, also the Palestinian people. It serves the whole purpose and all the targets. The overview target is to displacement Gaza and evacuate the Gaza Strip from its social and from its population, and all of this is just moved to achieve its target. And another, it's different ways that Israel military take, or actually declaring Khan Yunis as so-called military zone is deeply debated. In reality, it's part of broader strategy also of forced transfer, pushing Palestinians from their homes to overcrowded and unsafe and temporary shelters. By leaving one area safe, Israel attempts to legitimate the population of others. It is not humanitarian protection, it's displaying under fire.
Yes. So actually it's a war of genocide because the young children are affected, and thousands of children have died, and 45,000, as I've just mentioned, became children with disabilities. So actually concerning also the attempts for a ceasefire agreement, U.S. President Donald Trump said that Hamas should release all the hostages immediately in order to receive a ceasefire in return. How did you follow these news?
I also want to shed light on different U.S. move or U.S. declaration. The U.S. also decided to block President Abbas and other Palestinian leaders from attending the UN General Assembly. Is alarming. It signals an attempt to silence Palestinian voices at the very stage where their cause deserves recognition. This move undermines the principle of international diplomacy and exposes the contradiction in American proclaimed commitment to democratic dialogue. At the same time, or the same context, we have that different declaration from Donald Trump and from the American administration, which undermine in the cause and the Palestinian cause. It supports Israel by all means, whether it's military support or by declaration, and also all of these moves undermine the cause.
Yes. Yes. Also, Dr. William, Israel said, ask the residents in Gaza to move to Khan Yunis, as it's telling them it's a safe place, and there are it's a humanitarian area. And actually, as they move, and this is not the first time, they hit the place.
Yes, declaring Khan Yunis as so-called, which is called humanitarian zone, is deeply deceived. It's reality. It's part of broader strategy, as we said. It's pushing Palestinians from the realm to overcrowded. That I'm very quite sure that this move for that displacement of the Palestinian and evacuate the Gaza Strip and all of this declaration, as we said before, that Trump reflects a pattern also by framing the issue slowly around hostage. Washington disregards the larger humanitarian and the root causes of the conflict, occupation, and disposition. Such one-sided warning will resolve the crisis. All of the move is to evacuate the Gaza Strip, or to the Palestinian people the cause of this, all of this work.
Yes. Dr. William, we saw last week protests, and it happened for several times, protests in Israel, in Tel Aviv, in order to stop this war. And how did you see this or read this scene?
Yes, it's part of the issue that in that they very with very issue over Israel leadership. It's a very issue to one of the as you mentioned, one of the issues challenged by psychological confusion within Israel, raising draft evasion and very students among soldiers and decline faith in the war purpose. These indicators point to unprecedented moral crisis within Israel society in itself. And on the other side, there is economic burden is equally struck to Israel. When we talk that Israel now faces over 40 days of inclusive calls up to stock more soldiers, nearly 130,000 recruits are currently mobilized, imposing immense pressure on the labor market and multiplying the financial cost of the war. So the regular army increasing hands over to terrorists, it claims to have cleared to reverted forces, underscoring its limited ability to maintain long-term control. This cycle enables resistance fighters to swiftly turn to those areas around whatever temporary gains the army achieves.
Yes, Dr. William, also concerning Egypt's role, of course, it's a historical role concerning the Palestinian question. Actually, Egypt is sending every day hundreds of trucks to Gaza Strip in order to alleviate the burdens and for the Palestinian people. And actually, the trucks are from the Red Crescent, Egyptian Red Crescent, that is called Zed Al-Izza from Egypt to Gaza, and it's entering every day from the Karam Abu Salim crossing border. So despite the efforts that Egypt is exerting, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government accuses Egypt of closing the Rafah border from the Egyptian side, which is not true, of course. What's your comment on this?
The first part of your question, yes, Egypt has emerged as a perpetual actor working to unify international efforts towards the ceasefire. Its refusal to compromise on this placement, given its diplomacy credibility, while its geographic and political weight make it more easier. And Egypt has succeeded in keeping the Palestine cause at the center of international debate, ensuring that the conversation isn't reduced to hostage or short-term resources. It encourages the long-term justice. And it's adopted a narrative, a counter narrative, indeed, to the misleading claims of the Israel. And on the other side, when we talk on the claims of Netanyahu last Friday, I guess the warning, there is a there is a lot of media outlets in Israel which is warning articles, if we can say it's warning, under the headline, in its research for a new battle front, Israel found Egypt. All of these articles or this media in heart, as you know, it's a magazine, an Israeli magazine. This perspective reflects a growing recognition that Israel attempts to expand or export the conflict may encounter unexpected limits. particularly with major states of strategic weight such as Egypt. That the reference to Egypt in this context can't be separated from the deep domain within Israel itself, whether in terms of domestic political diversions or ongoing in Gaza, what's happening in Gaza, and Lebanon presenting Egypt as potential front reflects not only security concern but also an effort by Israel leadership to raise its public through the innovation of new regional threats. The danger of this course lies in potential to open the door to escalation scenarios that transcend transitional calculation, underscoring that seeking exact form its internal and external crisis may resort to options, thereby placing the region before mounting strategic challenges.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Monica William, the analyst in the field of international relations. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.